say this to the Prime Minister. What was it about the twice disgraced, paedophile-adjacent, self-styled Prince of Darkness that you found so attractive? And I am indignant, and I am outraged. And a lot of people in this building are expecting us to no longer be outraged. We'll be outraged. I believe that the Prime Minister needs to go, not just for his own party, but more importantly, for the sake of the country.
Stay with me because the full video I'm about to show you puts everything into a new perspective. Right, so picture this. It's a completely normal Tuesday in the Houses of Parliament. MPs are shuffling in with their briefing folders. Someone's probably microwaving fish in the staff room. And then suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, one MP stands up and essentially says, "You know what? I've had enough of the lot of you." And the whole chamber loses its mind. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are diving into one of the most dramatic, most passionate, and frankly, most entertaining speeches to grace the House of Commons in quite some time. Because when Sasha Eastwood got to her feet, she did not come to whisper, she came to set the whole room on fire. And honestly, fair play to her. Now, before we get into the good stuff, let's just appreciate for a second the absolute irony of standing in a building called the House of Commons and somehow managing to make everything feel completely disconnected from common people. That's a special kind of talent, isn't it? You'd think with a name like that, someone in there might occasionally remember that outside those grand walls, there are actual human beings trying to figure out whether they can afford their weekly shop. But no, instead we get acronym soup. DV this, CTC that, strap the other, and most of us sitting at home are just staring at our televisions thinking, "I beg your pardon?" And that, funnily enough, is exactly what Eastwood was getting at. Real quick before we roll the footage, if you're enjoying this content, do me a huge favor, hit that like button and smash subscribe. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. Don't be one of them. It's free for you and it helps us out more than you know. Already clicked? You're awesome. Let's get into the video.
Sasha Eastwood.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and indeed, as others have already said, you almost feel like everything has been said at this point, but one thing that strikes me in all of this is that this is called the House of Commons. Our job is to come here and represent the common person. And it is so far removed from the common person, this entire debate. But we are dealing with a situation where the Prime Minister of the day is now saying that he regrets the appointment of Mandelson. Yeah. And I'm not going to get into the whys and wherefores of DV and Strap and CTC and everything else, because my people in Lagan Valley don't know what that means. And a lot of people are banking on the ordinary man and woman on the street not to know what that means, and to stop being curious and to suspend their expectations, because this is all highfalutin serious stuff and we don't really know what that is. Maybe they did do right, maybe they didn't do right, because they're bamboozled. But I'm going to break it down for them. I would say this to the Prime Minister. What was it about the twice disgraced, paedophile-adjacent, self-styled Prince of Darkness that you found so attractive to put into this plum job, not just of government, but of the United Kingdom on the world stage? What was it, Prime Minister, that appealed to you about Peter Mandelson? We still don't have the answer. No. We still don't have the answer. No. But all I know is that my constituents are disgusted with all of this. Yeah. And this isn't the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. It has been going round in a merry-go-round no matter who it is. And I am indignant, and I am outraged. And a lot of people in this building are expecting us to no longer be outraged. We'll be outraged. Because if we can't prove that this works, we know he's going to step into the shadows. We know he's going to be out there setting the algorithms. We know who is going to be preying on the carcass of what was a once great democracy. And we've seen other democracies fail. Let's not fool ourselves that the UK is immune from this. And the number one thing we can do within our gift is to show that we still value integrity. And for those reasons, there is not a single excuse that this government can come up with that I can sell to my constituents or myself that I will believe. And for those reasons, I believe that the Prime Minister needs to go, not just for his own party, but more importantly, for the sake of the country.
Dr. Ben Spencer.
She stood up and said something that a lot of people have been thinking for a very long time, that all of this jargon, all of this political complexity, all of this high-flown language is basically a smokescreen, a way of making ordinary people feel like they simply aren't qualified to have an opinion, like they should just sit down, stop asking questions and trust that the people in the big, important building know what they're doing. And she wasn't having any of it, not one bit. She decided right then and there that she was going to break it all down, plain and simple, for the people back home in Lagan Valley. And honestly, it was quite the moment. Because here's the thing. The elephant in the room, or rather the very well-dressed, politically controversial elephant in the room, is the appointment of Peter Mandelson. Now, Eastwood's question to the Prime Minister was devastatingly simple. She essentially asked, in the most colourful parliamentary language you'll hear this side of a period drama, what exactly it was about this particular individual that made him the right choice for such a significant role representing the United Kingdom on the world stage. She wanted an answer. The Chamber wanted an answer. And as she pointed out rather pointedly, no answer came. Silence. The kind of silence that speaks volumes. And this is where Eastwood really hits her stride, because she makes it clear this isn't just about one appointment. It isn't just about one moment of questionable judgment. It's a pattern, a relentless, spinning, dizzy merry-go-round of controversy and disappointment that just keeps turning and turning no matter who's at the wheel. Her constituents, she says, are disgusted. And she uses that word deliberately because it's not a soft word. It's not mildly concerned or somewhat puzzled. It's disgusted. And she is indignant and outraged, and she's not apologising for it. Which is genuinely refreshing in a political landscape where everyone seems terrified of actually feeling anything out loud. What makes this speech so compelling, beyond the passion and the fire, is the broader warning she delivers toward the end. She isn't just talking about one Prime Minister or one party, she's talking about democracy itself. She's watching what's happened in other countries, the slow erosion of trust and integrity, the way that when institutions fail people, darker forces move in to fill the vacuum. She's essentially saying, and this is the bit that should make everyone sit up straight, that the United Kingdom is not magically protected from that fate. No country is. And the best defence we have, the most powerful thing those MPs can do with the power they've been given, is demonstrate that integrity still means something. Whether you agree with her politics or not, whether you're left, right, centre, or thoroughly bewildered by the whole lot of them, that message is hard to argue with. Accountability matters, integrity matters, and when people in positions of enormous privilege and responsibility stop acting like it does, someone has to stand up and say so, loudly, passionately, and without waiting for permission.